Eric Hill, how are you?
I am doing really well, Russ. And you?
I'm awesome. Well, excited to, be here with you today. I know you've got some exciting news. I talked to you last Friday and just tell me what's going on.
Well, I've been getting all of these referrals. And so I got this referral from a guy who is a really big NPC, as we say, a most
Most
placeable
placeable.
candidate.
Yeah, yep.
And he didn't hesitate. He said, like, just rolled off his tongue. I said, well, what is your compensation? And he told me, hey, he said, "Eric, my base compensation is 350, but my total package is 650. And so, being the cool guy I am, I just said, oh, okay. And then Russ, I got the same, it was almost the exact same call that I got from another reference. He gave me three of these references. It was unbelievable. Their salaries, and they are out of work because they took time off just to relax. I said,
Yeah,
man, this is incredible. So
it's so
I'm,
awesome.
I'm just so excited. And
I love it.
I just sent out because I was trying to get work through the system. And I had a few problems. I talked to Mary. She's phenomenal. Mary helped me out with a lot of things. So I was trying to implement some things. But in the process, Russ, I got six more referrals. So
Amazing.
I had to send an emergency call to you, Russ. I said, Russ, this is a friendly emergency call, but I need some reinforcements because Mary told she said, Eric, we don't do more than one campaign. I said, well, Mary, I don't know, but I can't let these people down if they referred them to me. So I'm just on cloud nine, Russ. I really am, and
The
I'm so
calendar
glad.
bookings.
I love your system. I told you, I said, man, Russ, I am going to work this system. I did my research. I researched about you, and uh, it gives me a really great feeling knowing that if it's something really of major importance, I can shoot out an emergency call. I mean, you enforce just like we do in the military. Hey, go through the rank structure. Don't jump over people, which is very important. And I made sure I did all of those things. But if it requires you to get involved, you don't hesitate. Whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text, so that I appreciate that.
Thank
So
you. No, that's awesome, Eric. I'm so excited to hear all this and
yeah, I am.
the
It's
fact that
unbelievable.
Yeah, the fact that you've got these most placeable candidates, the fact that you've been following the processing system, and that your calendar has been lit up in less than 2 months. And I know
Yes,
I was looking back, you started back in mid-October. We're early December right now. It's pretty, less than 2 months is a fast track. I tell most people give it 4 months, but you're getting the progress. I know why you're getting it because you're working the system. You're doing what it takes, and
exactly.
you didn't come in with the employee mentality. You came in like an entrepreneur and you're
Right.
following our blueprint and you're doing the work. So that's why you get results. And I'm proud of you. Let me kind
Thank
of
you.
put, yeah, no, of course. Let me put the brakes on real quick. I want to ask you, before you joined Recruitemy, what were you doing?
I owned a tech company, and I own a tech company, and I work with engineers. And I mean, I was a salesman anyway. Um, but because we had such high level people, it was pretty simple to get projects. So projects would really just roll in, and it was just a matter of me doing the estimating, making sure all the administrative things were taken care of. So I've been an administrator, Russ, for over 30 years because I started in the Army as a personnel guy. So I was just it's really wild, but I've got a finance background and HR. And I love HR, but my brother convinced me to go into tech. Went into tech for those 4 years and I was miserable. And my brother said, hey, man, he said, why don't you just do what you've been doing? Russ, I came back to this. And when I hit doing this, I'm telling you, this is where I was meant to be.
That's
This is
awesome.
my life.
Yeah.
This is my life. I mean, truly, this is where I was meant to be. I've interviewed thousands of people. None of that stuff bothers me. Being on camera, doing interviews, speaking off the cuff, preparing, just getting a little snippet saying, "Hey, I would like to talk to you about so and so and so." Calling. I mean, I'm a CEO, so I'm not intimidated by CEOs. I'm not intimidated by people who make large salaries and things like that. So it's just like it was tailor made for me.
That's awesome. So when you were considering launching your own recruiting business, like what brought you to us, to me and Recruitemy, and why Recruitemy? Why did you make the decision to make the investment with us and move forward?
Well, let me tell you, Russ, we went over you with a fine tooth comb, and I so my wife, I'm gonna just be 100 with you. My wife wouldn't let me do it, so my brother said, "Hey, man, we'll help you, we'll back you, but you have to convince us. Why is this guy Russ the best?" So I said, "Well, let me show you some of his YouTube stuff. Look at him, and then look at what the other guys are doing." And when you said 27 years of experience, hey, I've sold a couple companies and I'm still in the game. That right there got me. And I said, he has a heart for teaching. I said, you can tell. I said, Russ does things he doesn't have to do. I said, obviously he's, you know, well off enough where he doesn't have to necessarily deal with us. I said, that's his passion. So I said, that's what makes all the difference in the world. And you can see your passion too, Russ, as you talk to us on your videos, you're excited. I love it. So I said, I mean, that's the guy I want to follow. When you're a leader, you have to have a good somebody strong to follow. And I said, I can follow that guy.
That's an awesome story. I love it. I love that your brother backed you and had faith in you, and I like that your wife was keeping you in check too. That's great.
Right.
She sounds
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a
Oh
great
yeah.
woman. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm just so proud of you for coming in and joining the
Thank
weekly
you.
calls that we do every Wednesday. I see you on the calls, and you're just doing what it takes to be successful and following the most placeable candidate system. Have you had fun with developing those NPC pages and getting them out there?
Russ, again, and this is how you know it's the Lord. Again, Russ, I uh was the editor of my school newspaper in college. So that goes back some 25 years. I've been doing graphics and back when churches had the little programs, I used to do all the programs for my dad's church, for my brother's church. So Russ, that was nothing for me. So I can do an NPC so quickly. It's like. And so I just felt, I said, man, this is amazing. And I
Yeah.
just marvel at what the Lord has done because I can see all these life experiences, how they just fall in place now.
Yeah,
So
and you dove right into the applicant tracking system that we have for our members. I know you've been in there working with it
right.
and seeing the templates back there that we pre-installed for you and the job advertisement page too. So yeah, it really does makes things easier, right? And it gives it more of a professional look in front of your clients.
Well,
Or Eric, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, Russ, you have a method I like to call a plug and chug. If you just plug into it, man, it'll chug along. Do the system. Now, it took me because I thought I knew everything. My wife calls me a know-it-all, and this is true. But I thought I knew everything. She said, "Well, if you're paying the man, why don't you just follow a system?" So then Russ always sends these nice little things out that remind you, "Hey, follow the system. Be disciplined. Do this every day, day in and day out." Man, numbers matter, and so I just start doing it, and
Yeah,
and and it really works. It's
that's
set up
awesome.
for you to just plug and chug. Truly.
Plug and chug. I love it. I
Yeah.
mean, Eric, I could spend a few hours talking to you, but we'll wrap it up here real quick. So
Okay.
what would you tell the person out there that's watching this video that's, maybe a little bit apprehensive or fearful of starting their own recruiting and staffing business? People have fears and I get it. So what would you tell that person to help them move forward or kind of where they're at right now? Because I know you were there too at one point in time.
Yes. Yes. I would say I've done the research, and that's the first thing you need to do. But Russ is legit. If there's a problem, I mean, number one, your system is dynamic. And if there's a problem with anything, you have technical people that help you. You have mentors that stay with you through the game. And then if there's a major issue and you have to get involved, you don't have a problem getting involved. It's very important to have that. It's one thing to have a good system, but it's another thing to have a good support. And you not only have a good system, but you have a good support system for those of us who are involved in your system. And that's very important. So I
Awesome.
would say
Eric,
join.
Thank you, Eric. I look forward to working closely with you here and seeing all these results that you're getting. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your
Thank
family
you.
as well.
The same to you.